talk about segments that have not disappointed, Matt Hardy consistently finds a way to reinvent himself, to be entertaining. The guy is just gold, is he not? I mean, I can't get enough of the mind that this guy has for the business. It's so obvious. His creativity is unlimited, man.
I completely agree. I mean, it's similar to like what Jericho has been doing, constantly
Yes.
reinventing himself, constantly having these different characters, constantly being, being good and being bad and being so good at being good and so good at being bad. And Matt Hardy
Yeah.
is just taking it to a whole nother level. He's had so many classic characters, and this one is really sticking out. I just love the truth is the
The
truth, and
truth is
being
the
this
truth.
this cocky guy. And it's a great pairing with a young team like Private Party, because these guys are high energy. I'm sure he does see a lot of Hardy Boys in these, because in the ring they got some similar skill set. And so I think it was a great promo to kind of play off the BTE.
Yes.
They're planting those seeds there. I really enjoy the cross storylines with BTE and Dynamite and Dark. So really nice for that. So if you didn't see it on BTE, Hardy's trying to take 30% of each of these guys to help make them kings,
Make them
so
kings.
so this was good. It was a good segment. Happened to be we're walking around the concourse, and then I watched, came across this live. So I watched it from a distance. So it was cool to see that promo live from the distance. So it had its point on the card. It had its point on the show, and it was good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, SPD, we'll transition out of this one in a second, but for me, just to highlight, I think you did it. You nailed it. We talk about it so often with Dynamite. This roster is so loaded, and it feels like there are characters who we want to see more out of. We want to see them get opportunities, and we wonder, like, man, there's only 2 hours of Dynamite every week. How do they do it? We're always blown away by how these guys this company gets so much in 2 hours. Well, they also do a great job of weaving in their other content, like you just talked about. This is a playoff of BTE. If you
Mm-hmm.
weren't watching BTE, some of this might not click with you like it should. Obviously, it could stand on its own, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a continuation of this megalomaniac persona that Hardy has pursued. And the promo that he cut on BTE with these guys, that segment that they had on BTE was phenomenal. It showed the Private Party's kind of their sense of humor. It shows why it's easy to root for these guys. Obviously, they're charismatic and they're high flying in the ring, but
Mm-hmm.
they're showing a level of comfort and sort of this sense of humor backstage that I'm really enjoying. So I like this pairing. I think that Matt Hardy, again, that trying to cut 30% off, not 15 and 15, 30 from each, is great stuff. It shows his creativity. The guy has got a mind for the business. And I think that AEW, again, has to get credit for the way it utilizes veterans. Jericho tonight on commentary was a good example, right? But this is an example with Hardy where you have a veteran mind who is clearly influencing young talent on your roster and
Mm-hmm.
making them better for it. This is not an example where you got an older guy coming in and stealing a spot from a younger guy. His presence on the show is to help make the younger talent better.
Yep.
And I really enjoy why that AEW's perspective with that. Using Tully with FTR. You have so many examples. Vicky Guerrero with Nyla. So many examples of seasoned veterans being paired up with younger talent to help establish them, help guide them, give them advice. It's just a great setup that AEW has. And that AEW is so different when it comes to values with these performers. Like the little jab that Matt Hardy and the Private Party made about the cameo,
Good
right?
point.
Like
Yeah.
they do little things. AEW is doing so many little things to differentiate themselves from other products that we've seen. And I know everybody is getting involved in the back and forth between WWE, NXT, and Dynamite. All I will say is that the values that AEW promotes, they're real, and you can
Mm-hmm.
tell they're actively trying to work to integrate that into their culture of their company. They're big on trying to cultivate new talent, and I think this was a great example of that. I can't wait to see what happens with this going forward. And it wasn't even a match; it was just a simple little segment. And I want to see where's Private Party going from here. And I think that's exactly what they needed to establish.